Hi, I'm John Van Auken, one of the directors here at the Association for Research and Enlightenment, the Edgar Cayce Center in Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I'd like to talk with you about one of the most beneficial ways to enhance your spiritual growth, and that is spiritual growth groups. I have studied in Edgar Cayce's Search for God groups for 11 years, in prayer healing groups for 4 years, and in a Revelation study group for 2 years, and I can assure you that studying with others on a regular basis is much better than studying alone. As you will see for yourself, the benefits of participating in spiritual growth groups are profound.
My own introduction to the Search for God material was in a group. I was actually a freshman in college and had been reading Edgar Cayce books for about a year. And the first time I saw the little red books and knew about study group material was actually in my first group experience. But I've heard and talked to people over the years who read the little red books first and then later found a group. And I think it can work both ways.
Discussions are vitally important, much more important than the words on the printed page. And if you can convince new study group people that that's the truth, that their contribution is as important as the material in the Search for God books.
At first it was something that really made me nervous because I talk really well one-on-one with someone and I was nervous about being able to share in a group. But that actually was not the case once we all got together in the same room and I realized we were all there for the same reason.
Traditional Edgar Cayce study groups originated from Edgar Cayce's own study group that met from 1931 to 1942. The group was formed when Cayce's friends and family asked how they could become more psychic and spiritually aware like him. The answer was provided through 130 of his readings, known as the Study Group Series. Edgar Cayce's study group used these readings to create 2 books for group study, A Search for God Book 1 and Book 2.
I encourage people, if they've been involved and have been focusing on Search for God material only, to realize that when they finish Book 2, they are free to move into any other material out of the Edgar Cayce readings that they want to.
Since 1942, thousands of people have come together in a group setting to study this material in order to enhance their spiritual growth. Currently, over 700 spiritual growth groups from all corners of the world are actively meeting together on a regular basis.
You know, when Edgar Cayce started this Search for God study group program, originally it was just meeting in individual homes. And since that time, with the onslaught of technology, we have a variety of ways people can participate. We have online groups, we have email groups, we have face-to-face groups, we have conferences that help people with their personal growth. We have activities you can do on the internet. So regardless of the amount of time you have available, regardless of where you are in the world, there's information from the Cayce files that can be very helpful on your own personal soul growth.
As Kevin just said, I'm at home tonight and my study group meets tonight, but not in my house. We're meeting online in a video chat online. While I wait for the group, I'm actually at the A.R.E. website and I'm looking at some of the resources there. There's some upcoming e-groups in which I can participate and study with others online on a specific topic. We also have some YouTube videos that are very helpful and informative. And I also can access the Edgar Cayce readings and many other resources on the website edgarcayce.org, O-R-G. One of my members has logged on. It's Karen. Hi, Karen.
Hi, John. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you, too. I've had a long day. When working with an online study group, it's virtually the same as a traditional study group. You have material you study and apply in your life. You have disciplines and applications. You have your daily meditations and your dream study. The difference is in how you communicate with one another. You can have an ongoing email correspondence, reply to all so that everyone knows what one another's experiencing and thinking, or you can schedule a live video chat, or both.
The major thing is that each member of the study group commit themselves to making the study group work. One of our difficulties in this country is that when we go to a group or we go to a class, we focus on the person up front, and don't make much effort to participate.
Is that it turns out to be a support system, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually.
The A.R.E. Spiritual Growth Group Department has sent us a really great starter pack that goes over all the format and guidelines for our study group together. So let's take a look at that, okay? Okay. So included in our starter packet was this great little bookmark that we can all have that gives us our suggested order for our study groups. Of course, we will start on time, and then we will have a moment of silence and an opening prayer at the beginning of our study group. Then we will have what's called the business portion of the meeting, and that's where we would make any announcements that we have, or if anyone is going to be absent from next week's meeting, that would be part of our business portion, as well as any conferences that are coming up or special events that we as a group might want to attend.
You know, when you first get involved in a group, one of the things that has been most important to me is to do disciplines each week that are interesting, exciting, and that give you something to really apply and to report back on the following week.
So after the business portion, then we will move on to sharing about the discipline that we've all been working on throughout the past week.
Weekly disciplines are basically assignments that group members will work on individually on a daily basis in order to fully apply the material in their lives, and then report back to the group at the next meeting. These weekly applications come directly from the topic of study from the group meeting. For example, a group studying meditation may work on daily meditation and prayer, and a group studying cooperation will have a discipline related to getting along or working with others.
We could utilize this book, Experiments in a Search for God. Then we could share a little bit about any dreams that we've had. Edgar Cayce had so much to say about dreams and their importance to us as individuals, and so that would be a good thing for us to include in our study group time together.
The facilitator person in the group is not there to dominate the group or to teach the group, more so to help keep the process moving along.
When I'm working with someone who's going to be a study group facilitator, I emphasize, draw everyone out. If you've got someone sitting over here in the corner not saying anything, ask them a question.
You know, we'll all have different styles and ways that we manage, you know, bringing our focus back. And that's just part of working with each other in a group and our group dynamics.
Usually we would take about a chapter each week, and we would read over certain parts of it at the beginning of the group. And then we would have about 45 minutes of discussion, and that was actually my favorite part. And that's something I really actually enjoyed with the study groups too, is that it wasn't sitting and listening to one person telling you, you know, this is how the book is. It was really open. Everyone was able to share their opinions.
So let's begin our reading of this week's lesson on meditation, which is on page 5.
Like most study groups, this group is studying the books created by Edgar Cayce's study group called A Search for God. Some of the topics of study include meditation, desire, ideals, and love.
Meditation is one of the most important things about study group work. It's no coincidence that that meditation material was put at the beginning of book number 1 and then it's placed again at the end of book number 2. It's really framing the whole study. And the 24 lessons that are in between are really character development lessons, in my opinion, that build upon each other, but they're framed by meditation.
Meditation is an important part of spiritual growth together, and it was a key part of Edgar Cayce's experience and training. Using one of his poignant affirmations, we lay aside our outer concerns and lift our hearts and minds with the Spirit expressed in that affirmation. Once still and feeling closer to the creative forces or God, we abide in this stillness, allowing the magic of the silence to center us, renew us, and fill us with higher vibrations and better dispositions. We conclude the meditation by sending this elevated energy to those we know have need of it, and to our loved ones and friends.
Let's just remember to always be thoughtful and kind and considerate of each other, even when it always isn't easy to do so.
We just need to give everyone we come in contact with freedom, absolute freedom to be themselves, and not expect them to be anything else.
If we've got you excited and you are looking to join a spiritual growth group in your area, edgarcayce.org/study groups. We're here to help you on your spiritual path, and starting your own spiritual growth group is easy and an exciting opportunity. If you have any questions about spiritual growth groups, just contact our spiritual growth department and someone will be happy to help you. I hope you will take this exciting step toward your spiritual growth.